Hi friends. This is Sangeeta, Leadership Growth Mentor, and I invite all of you to this session of my webinar. And I hope all of you will uh, give me feedback about what all you need more in this webinar, because I have been an offline mentor for several of people, but in the online space we need to know as to what people would require, because this is not one to one. I am not there face to face physically, but face to face, of course, here in the stream yard. And I hope you will all be enjoying as to whatever I have to present. So this will be basically leadership growth mentorship. Why? Because I have been traveling in train and buses. Most of you might be traveling, and you will be seeing how people discuss, what people discuss. Have you observed what kind of discussion that happens? क्या डिस्कशन करते हैं लोग ट्रेन में, बस में जाते हुए? वो क्या करते हैं, आइदर पॉलिटिक्स डिस्कस करते हैं, अगर नहीं हुआ तो देन दे स्टार्ट डिस्कसिंग कि उनके ऑफिस में क्या हुआ, बॉस ने क्या बोला, किसी और ने क्या बोला, लाइफ में क्या हो रहा है, उसके बारे में वो बात करते हैं, राइट? सो दैट इज व्हाट, और उससे होता क्या है, what happens if people start talking about that? ये ओनली दे नो पिंच देमसेल्फ, उन्हीं को ही चोट पहुंचते रहता है। एंड वो कभी इसमें से इसका कोई सोल्यूशन है, ये उनको समझ ही में नहीं आता। एंड देन वो क्या करते हैं, वही प्रॉब्लम माइंडसेट में ही रहते हैं। एंड आफ्टर सम टाइम एक्चुअली उनका प्रॉब्लम इतना बढ़ जाता है, क्रीपिंग इतना बढ़ जाता है, लॉजिकली दे वांट टू एस्टेब्लिश समथिंग, सम रिकॉग्निशन, कुछ कहीं से आ जाए। एंड रिकॉग्निशन आर ऐसे तो रोज ही रोज कोई किसी को रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करते रहता है ना, अवार्ड फंक्शन ये सब कुछ नहीं होते रहता है। देन हाउ टू कीप मोटिवेटेड, आप कैसे मोटिवेट रहोगे अपने काम के लिए? सो वहीं पे प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है। सो थैंक यू, आई वेलकम ऑल ऑफ यू फॉर दिस सेशन। And I would love if you would be participating in this. I acknowledge all of you to be here in this evening for this kind of presentation, where we'll be discussing how to develop a distinctive leadership personality, leadership growth personality, so that no, we can achieve leadership growth persistently. Why leadership growth? Because nowadays what happens is each and everybody, all of us, needs to be a leader. They need to take responsibility of their workspace. And why so? Why so? Because unless you do, you will not be able to carve out a carve out a special thing, special place for yourself, and that craving will go on. Where and how can you design this personality which will be of useful to anybody and everybody? So here is a presentation. Let me share you. Can you see the presentation? Yes, let me see if yeah, thank you. Can you see the presentation? So there are three secrets to strategize your career ladder. And I thank you, all of you, joining from different cities at this point of time. You might be having dinner or something else on a Sunday, but you have decided to be watching this, and I thank you for that. And are you here to learn about leadership growth? What is leadership growth is all about, and why so? So many people have asked me offline like say in the messenger chat. And I hope they join this at 9 p.m. And are you here to learn what is leadership growth is all about? Are you aiming to serve people better? Are you aiming for a dignified existence? Are you looking to be with your family more? Are you looking to be in charge of your life? So if these are the three basic points. If you are looking for a dignified existence, if you are, if you want to learn all the time, life, be a lifelong learner and serve people more, that is what I call as inclusion. And for abundance, of course, time freedom is everybody's requirement. No, everybody wants that. If you want to know about all this, then this webinar is for you. And I have a system how you do it. Find your uniquely packaged USP that solves a problem. Then a framework to build expertise that creates dependability and trustworthiness. You know, when you build an expertise, you when you build an expertise, you build your credibility and trustworthiness. And a collaborative approach to seed legacy that is sector agnostic. So somebody asked me, why legacy? Because till you are there in a position of authority, or you are in a workplace, you are there as a manager or something. But after you retire, who are you? So you have to have that kind of expertise which will build a legacy, which will benefit people even after you are not there at the workplace. So wherever you are, till you exist, your knowledge should benefit people. That is what legacy is. And of course, with that legacy will um, uh, you will earn also all the time. You will get paid for that. And if you stay till the end for this special one-to-one session, then I'll for this webinar I'll offer a special one-to-one session for whoever you are, if you are there till the end. And this is for 90 minutes. Do take notes and save your questions to the end so that the flow of the webinar is not hampered. And who this is for? This is for first time managers who are feeling stuck. And why do you feel stuck is most of us assume that it is a straight line, straight upward graph that we all take. And this is the CEO of LinkedIn, Ryan Roslansky. He told that most of us assume that it is a straight, almost a straight line upwards, but it is not so. There may be, it is a looping kind of thing. You might have been laid off somewhere, may be a mistake, but how does it matter? You have been learning all the while. If that is so, then of course your upward graph will be with several loops. And what happens when you feel stuck is you complain and crave, of course. And when you crave and complain, you are looking for an alternative solution away from your workspace. So while you are looking for an alternative, you are working at 20% productivity level. And for the more experienced you are, the more delayed it will come. So why, for many very senior people, it takes 3 to 5 years to find out a solution. Now if that is the length, if you are working at 20% productivity level, of course obviously you are not going to achieve your potential. Do you understand this? Then if you are not achieving your potential, then it will affect your work performance, right? And I have done a market research about what happens. Do people actually realize what happens to their performance and their potential and their existence and all? So I found that there are of course some legitimate, as per the industry research, data. It is of course relationship with colleagues, personal growth, not able to meet deadlines, promotion, salary hike. These are the established factors affecting your workplace and growth. But there are other factors as well. People confided. which are towards the right side of this screen. This is about unsure of next course of action, lack of consistency, relationship with spouse, self-doubt, motivation, inspiration, friction with friends, lack of self-acceptance, asking for help, finding more pain than pleasure, all those things. No sharing, fear of change, fear of failure, something amiss, fear of getting judged, slave mindset, restlessness. These are what I found out. And these are indirectly affecting their productivity as well. So, what are the affected areas of life? You whatever contributes towards your growth, almost every area of your life gets affected. So you what happens then is life decisions are affected, work decisions are affected. You are scared of competition, you will always see that somebody is moving ahead of you. Communication is in shambles. Confidence is rock bottom, it has hit rock bottom. Colleagues are not respecting, you are not able to learn a skill, a big vision is missing. Managing time is a very difficulty. Consistency is very difficult as you have lost your focus. So, if that is so, uh, then how do you think? How do you think you can take yourself out of that? So, I am learning from 12 mentors. Would you like to learn what they are teaching for almost free and save time towards success? So here are my mentors who have been teaching, and they have been pointing out as to, apart from the skills and expertise, experience that all of us have at a very senior level, and several things, several certification I have achieved, and all this learning will come to you. Obviously, as I am learning, I am sharing with you. So, key lessons in my life are: I used to be a star performer but not the boss. I used to complain a lot, but I loved my work. I could handle a variety of tasks in emergency, but I never was trained for those. And then I attended a HR workshop meant for HR professionals, but I was not the person with HR credentials. But still, I managed to design my um, design the HR workshop there, and uh, could present there. So everybody understood, appreciated that effort of mine. So that was the first experience of resourcefulness that I have. So this means I didn't I was not planning for this. I didn't know. Suddenly, because I was working towards the right thing. Whenever you start small, and whenever you are working correctly, rightly, towards whatever is required, then suddenly your own hidden potentials will come out to the fore. You know, do you realize this? So this one was the key lesson in my career. That was the first lesson. And when uh, because I was appreciated out there, I later on applied in one of the biggest companies that was participating in that HR workshop. I got recruited out there, and when I recruited to the big company, I was not looking to be the boss anymore. I couldn't be because there were many challenging tasks, and the boss was not important but the person who was taking the risk. So this was the second opportunity that came my way, and I could know about myself that I had enough risk taking ability. And when it came to the kind of work that I needed to choose, whatever I loved I could choose. And that could have given me that actually gave me started giving me recognition. So these are the key lessons. And the third is, I loved the work rather than the designation. So these were the three key uh, lessons of life that I found out, and I thought anybody can have So many of hidden qualification, hidden talents that goes undiscovered when one is in a very problematic mindset. So that shifted my pattern, and so far, for for then on, I actually the my life took an about turn, and I trained 18,000 professional to impact 1 crore life since 2008. Then they are doing great themselves without having to come for mentoring time and again. They are very independent of themselves, and I, on my part, I found at least two skills in each of the persons they didn't make use of before. So at Rajasthan, we actually enumerated 45 uh, lakhs women in 2 months of time. That is where actually I could train 12,000 people in 2 months time, took charge of their logistics and all, and could attain that within time. That was the first surprising achievement that I had. I was never trained for that. Then in at Meghalaya, we established 239 common services center under the National E-Governance Plan. Then we designed business plan for each of the CSCs when there was not much of digitization at that time in 2000, way back in 2008. And actually, I trained 1,500 local youth to be manned in those CSCs. After that, I tracked Andhra Pradesh and Telangana with my data analytics skill. I learned that was an opportunity given to me for learning, and I could see that I could learn. As it is, I was a postgraduate in mathematics, so I could do this. Then I went to Bandhavgarh, where that was a food scarce pocket, wherein we I stayed in the forest, remote villages, remote areas in the forest, and there we brought food sufficiency to that area. People were actually, those are the fringe villages of the Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve area, and they were getting going to the forest, and they were getting killed. Now, the forest department actually wanted us to do something, some alternative livelihoods, so that people could be given a choice of livelihood rather than going to the forest. So we chose to give agriculture to that area, and within a space of 4 years of time, actually, we established a women federation. This is the two cluster that we formed first. One is Tala cluster, another is Manpur cluster, and these are the board members of that federation, and they won 17 awards in 4 years. See, the illiterate ladies of that is in itself is a story how they evolve. But if given adequate handholding and all, these ladies could also be trained, and one of them won the CII award of 1.5 lakhs. They broke mustard production of Madhya Pradesh. They had a 36 lakhs corpus in 4 years of time. They saved, of course, the food scarce to they became food scarce to food sufficient, and they also won another award from the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Mr. Narendra Modi. And the concept that these ladies started working was with micro capital. They started saving. That is how they could save, and uh, they could escape the vicious circle of poverty. Another farmer won the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation Award, and one lady won the Best SHG Leader award from the Andhra Pradesh governor. And this is me at Jharkhand, in the where there was a dead watershed, which was revived within 6 months of time, and that was 43 villages. So uh, these slides were little here and there, of course. Let me rearrange. I have rearranged my slides today, so that is why this is happening. So this is the story of Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, and this is one of the grassroots worker who is now the CEO of the Harit FPO at Bandhavgarh. This is one of my colleague at Bandhavgarh who is now an UNDP officer, and this is the second in common that I had. See, I headed the HR position then, and she was an executive to me, and she now heads the HR division. That is how the mentoring goes, and I won several accolades for that. Also, was sent to Canada for a study tour. The defining moment was way back in my schooling days when my father was my hero, and he told me that let me come to the screen, and he told me that it is always there is a lack of people who will be serving at number 2 position. The kingmakers are very scarce to locate. People who can sacrifice for the bigger purpose. That is one. And the second one is always there is a lack of the facility to translate whatever government of India कुछ बना रहा है schemes, वो लोगों के पास पहुंच नहीं रहा है. क्यों? ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? किसी ने सोचा ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? Because there is, गवर्नमेंट ने तो बना दिया अपने हिसाब से, कोई कुछ समझा कोई कुछ समझा, टिल इट कम्स टू द ग्रास रूट लेवल लोगों ने उसका बिल्कुल ही उल्टा मतलब निकाल दिया. एंड देन देयर इज ए रिस्क फैक्टर ऑल्सो. कोई उसको अपने हिसाब से इंटरप्रेट करके लोगों की भलाई के लिए काम नहीं करना चाहता. क्यों नहीं करना चाहता? बिकॉज somebody will ask them कि तुमको तो ये बोला गया था, तुम ऐसे कैसे कर ली. सो हु विल टेक द रिस्क? इसीलिए भी नहीं होता. So if there is a third party person, if you have that kind of logic and that kind of conviction, then nobody can refute, and that needs some courage, you know. So that is what I did at Bandhavgarh, and these two actually pushes me. Despite being a postgraduate in mathematics, I have worked in agriculture, sometimes technology. Right now I am doing strategy, policy making, and planning, you know. So several things will come up if you are qualified, if you make yourself resourceful and apply whatever experience you have learned to various field. It is all the same everywhere. The end result is to create the outcome, right? So here I tell something. When I train people, I train them that there are three resources to manage. How do you manage yourself, and how do you manage people, and how do you manage time? These are the three things. If you manage perfectly, then the entire things, entire life and entire project and entire everything, every project will be successful. Now surprisingly, it is managing self which should take a lot of time. You know, you are the person with a mind, and your mind, if it is not in control, then you cannot do anything, right? So that is the most one can do, one should do, to be in a very positive mindset. That is why the all the training has evolved, because people are getting into problem mindset. If you are always thinking about problem, when will you think about success? When will you think about solution? Solution का पता नहीं होगा तो solution करोगे कैसे? All the time creeping. और when you are looking at the solution पे जैसे ही आ जाते हो, लोग आ जाते हैं appreciate करने. भाई, everybody looks for somebody else who is a very positive person. आपको क्या है? Even if you are very troubled in your life, आपको बहुत परेशानियां हैं मान लो, स्टिल आपको बहुत अच्छा लगेगा ना इफ somebody, आपके सराउंडिंग में आपका दोस्त कोई है, आपका कलीग कोई है, आपके रिश्तेदारों में कोई है, सोसाइटी में पड़ोसी कोई है, अगर आपको कुछ पॉजिटिव बोलता है तो आपको अच्छा लगता है, राइट? तो व्हेन दैट हैपेंस, पहले आप तो खुद को पॉजिटिव कर दो, देन यू विल गेट द रिजल्ट. एंड दैट इज द मोस्ट, one can do. Once you are looking at the solution, solution पे जैसे ही आ जाते हो, लोग आ जाते हैं appreciate करने. भाई, everybody looks for somebody else who is a very positive person. आपको क्या है? Even if you are looking at the तो दूसरे लोग अप्रिशिएट करने आ जाएंगे, नॉट टू वरी अबाउट दैट। और जैसे ही आप अप्रिशिएट करने आ जाएंगे, आपको मन होगा कि आप और भी कर दो। जैसे ही आप और भी कर दो बोलेंगे, वैसे ही आप मैनेज करना सीखेंगे। सबसे पहले टाइम मैनेजमेंट, बहुत सारे लोगों ने बोला है कि टाइम कैसे मैनेज करें बताइए। तो ये टाइम कोई दूसरे का नहीं है, टाइम आप ही का है। एंड हाउ डू यू यूटिलाइज दिस टाइम? आपके फैमिली से शुरू करो। आप अपने आप को कितना टाइम देते हो, सबसे पहले तो वो। सेकेंड थिंग इज आपके फैमिली को कितना टाइम देते हो। यही फैमिली आपके बहुत ही सबसे ज्यादा दुख सुख में आप ही के साथ रहेगा। हाउ मच टाइम डू यू गिव? क्वालिटी टाइम ही दे दो। अगर आप 4 घंटे 5 घंटे दिन में नहीं दे सकते हो, आजकल के दिन में पॉसिबल नहीं है, बट कैन यू गिव सम टाइम? देन दिस इज व्हाट आई टेल कि आप, हाउ डू यू सी योर सेल्फ, एंड हाउ पीपल सी यू, एंड हाउ डू यू थिंक टू बी रिमेम्बर्ड आफ्टर यू आर गॉन। ये तीन चीजों का अगर सवाल आप जवाब आप खुद को दे दोगे, देन यू आर देयर ऑन ट्रैक, राइट? सो 3 पर्सनैलिटी ट्रेस टू कंकर, इसमें क्या होता है, आप करोगे क्या कि ये तीनों क्वेश्चन आपके जवाब मिल जाए आपको। सबसे पहले तो कॉन्फिडेंस देखो अपने पास कितना है, 30% आप मिनिमम रखो। करेज कितना है, 20%। जब रिस्क टेकिंग की जरूरत पड़ती है, जब आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम हो जाए तो कोई सॉल्व करने के लिए नहीं है, कोई साथ देने वाला नहीं है, फिर भी आप वही करते हो जो सही लगता है आपको। उसमें थोड़ा सा रिस्क होता है। क्या आप में वो रिस्क टेकिंग एबिलिटीज है? दैट इज व्हाट आई कॉल एज करेज एंड क्लैरिटी। आपको अगर बहुत क्लियर है कि आप क्यों कर रहे हो जो भी कर रहे हो, देन आपके पास कन्विक्शन है। कन्विक्शन है तो करेज है। करेज में 2-3 काम आप कर लिए तो कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्ड हो जाता है। सो दिस दीज आर द 3 थिंग्स यू नीड टू कंकर। देन 4 कम्युनिकेशन एस्पेक्ट्स टू बी केयरफुल अबाउट। अब कम्युनिकेशन में जैसे ही बोलते हैं, लोगों को लगता है कि दिस इज अबाउट इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग, राइट? तो स्पीकिंग तो ठीक है, लेकिन इवन इफ यू स्पीक परफेक्ट इंग्लिश, क्या आप कन्वे वही कर पा रहे हो जो सामने वाला समझेगा? आप स्पीक क्यों करोगे? बिकॉज यू नो दैट द सामने वाला, दैट पर्सन नीड्स टू अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? इफ you need to understand the सामने वाला needs to understand, then you need to also listen, you also need to read, कि उसको सही सलाह आप दे पाए या फिर सही सोल्यूशन दे पाए। स्पीकिंग आप सही से बता पाए उनको। एंड राइटिंग, राइटिंग भी कम्युनिकेशन के पार्ट में आता है। देन लीडरशिप स्टाइल इंग्रेडिएंट्स, क्या करोगे आप कि आपका ट्रस्टेड एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट हो। आप लीडर बन जाते हैं, इसका मतलब क्या होता है? बाकी सारे आपके स्लेव बन जाते हैं क्या? आपके नौकर तो नहीं बन जाते। वो आपके ट्रस्टेड कलीग्स होने चाहिए। तो आप डायरेक्शन करते हो 5%, डेलीगेट करते हो 10%, कोचिंग करते हो 15%। कोचिंग मतलब उनको सिखाते हो आप, और एम्पावर करते हो। एम्पावरिंग का मतलब है कि उनको आप डिसीजन मेकिंग के लिए छोड़ देते हो, गलती हो चाहे सही हो। गलती करने से ही तो सीखेगा कोई बंदा। तो आप उसकी गलती को अपना लेते हो, उसको सपोर्ट करते हो ताकि वो ग्रो कर पाए। अगर ऐसा कर पा रहे हो, देन यू आर इन द राइट ट्रैक। और दूसरा है कि आप अपने करियर लेडर को कैसे स्ट्रेटेजाइज करें कि आपका लीडरशिप ग्रोथ हो। ये सारी चीजें ठीक है जब आपको मिल गया, जब नहीं मिला, जब आप शुरू ही कर रहे हो, या फिर आपका प्रोफाइल चेंज हुआ, कहीं पे आप नया ज्वाइन किए, पता नहीं है लोगों को कि आपको कौन सा काम दिया जाए, बट आपको काम करना है। तो आप कैसे करोगे? अभी अभी आपको खुद को डिजाइन करना है कि आप करोगे कि आपके प्रोफाइल के हिसाब से। मान लीजिए आपको मार्केटिंग मैनेजर का काम दिया गया है, और किसी को नहीं पता है उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कि मार्केटिंग मैनेजर करेगा क्या। मार्केटिंग करेगा ऑब्वियसली, राइट? लेकिन मार्केटिंग में होता क्या है? क्या आप घर घर घूम के बोलोगे कि ये हमारा प्रोडक्ट है, या फिर आप कोई स्ट्रेटेजी करोगे जिससे लोगों को इजीली पता चल जाए? क्योंकि टाइम तो सेव करना होता है ना। सो एंड देन क्या करोगे ताकि टाइम सेव करके आप बहुत सारे लोगों के पास रीच आउट हो जाओ? देन ट्रेनिंग कैसे दो कि और सारे लोग भी आपके साथ ये इस मार्केटिंग जो है आपके कैंपेन में हिस्सा ले पाए, क्या करोगे आप, कैसे सोशल मीडिया को यूज करोगे, ऑल दीज आर स्ट्रेटेजाइजिंग। क्या स्ट्रेटेजी लोगे ताकि आप इफेक्टिव हो पाओ। सो इंडिकेटर्स क्या है कि आप स्ट्रेटेजाइज्ड हो, उसके है कि आप हर मोड पे रिजल्ट्स दे पा रहे हो। रिजल्ट्स, कोई भी रिजल्ट छोटा है बड़ा है, रिजल्ट्स आर ऑलवेज देयर। और आपका जो ग्रोथ ट्रेजेक्टरी है आप मॉनिटर कर रहे हो। अब कल आपने मान लीजिए कि 500 का सेल किया, आज आपने 200 का सेल किया, फिर भी आपको पता है घट गया, आपको पता कैसे चलेगा अगर आपने कल का नहीं लिखा है तो। सो ये आपको मॉनिटर करना पड़ेगा एंड ट्रेन पीपल टू रिप्लेस यू। आप जब तक लोगों को सिखाओगे नहीं तब तक आप आगे खुद नहीं बढ़ पाओगे, क्योंकि हमेशा आप एक ही काम करते रह जाओगे। एक ही काम करते रहोगे तो आपका ग्रोथ कैसे होगा, ये बहुत सारे लोगों को समझ नहीं आता है। आप वीपी भी बन गए और किसी को नहीं सिखाए तो यू विल बी डूइंग द वर्क ऑफ ए वेरी जूनियर पर्सन आज भी, अगर नहीं सिखाया तो। और एक्शन पॉइंट उसमें क्या होता है कि आप एक प्रॉब्लम एनालिसिस करो, एक प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल दो, सीखो आप ऑप्टिमाइज कैसे करोगे टाइम, बजट एंड एचआर। ये डिफरेंट लोगों के लिए डिफरेंट होता है, मैं तो जनरल सिचुएशन ही बता रही हूँ कि आप क्या क्या करोगे ताकि आप एफिशिएंट हो जाओ। बट ये डिफरेंट होता है, जैसे ही आप आओगे मेरे साथ तो ये आपके हिसाब से सीखा, मतलब हम डिफाइन कर पाएंगे। ओवरकमिंग एम्बिग्विटी, आपका बॉस कुछ बोल रहा है, बॉस का बॉस कुछ बोल रहा है। सब्जेक्ट मैटर एक्सपर्टाइज जो लीगेसी के लिए एप्लीकेबल है। ये 6 एक्शन पॉइंट मैंने आइडेंटिफाई किया है। इसके काफी सारे सब पॉइंट्स भी हो सकते हैं और आपके क्वेश्चंस भी हो सकते हैं जो हम डिसाइड कर सकते हैं। ब्रेकिंग मिथ में है कि बहुत सारे लोगों को मैंने पूछा, स्मार्ट आप कैसे सक्सेस होगे, हार्ड वर्क करने से सक्सेसफुल होंगे, आज भी बोलते हैं लोग। तो आपके कंसर्न क्या है, वरीज क्या है, हार्डवर्क कितना करोगे, लोगों को पता नहीं है। तो इन्फ्लुएंस कैसे करोगे, आप लीडरशिप कैसे अचीव करोगे अगर आप हमेशा ही करते रहोगे हार्ड वर्क। तो सो देयर इज ए मतलब ओवरलैपिंग ग्राफ है कि आप कितना करोगे हार्डवर्क, कितना करोगे, वरीज आपके कितने हैं एंड इन्फ्लुएंस कितना है। व्हाट इज द वर्क पैटर्न यू फॉलो। वरीज है क्या, इन्फ्लुएंस कितना है, 60%। इन्फ्लुएंस आप, हैप्पीनेस आपका 20%, गोल्स इन 20%, स्मार्ट वर्क 20%। आप जो भी कॉम्बिनेशन देना चाहो ये आप कर दो, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली आपका काम क्या होना चाहिए, स्मार्ट वर्क होना चाहिए जो स्पेसिफिक, मेजरेबल, असाइनेबल, रियलिस्टिक एंड टाइम रिलेटेड होना चाहिए, टाइम विद इन टाइम होना चाहिए, राइट। एंड दिस इज द ब्लूप्रिंट दैट आई हैव कम अप विद, लीडरशिप ग्रोथ ब्लूप्रिंट। इसमें क्या होता है कि पहले आप यूनिकनेस डिफाइन करते हो, देन आप प्रूव करते हो रेजिलियंस बाय डिपेंडेबिलिटी एंड ट्रस्टवर्दीनेस, उसी से इन्फ्लुएंस क्रिएट करते हो एंड प्रोमिनेंस अचीव होता है। जैसे ही आप प्रोमिनेंस आपका अचीव हो जाता है, यू रीच टू ए सर्टेन लेवल, वहां पे फिर से कंपटीशन शुरू होता है, हाउ टू डिफरेंशिएट, हाउ टू establish resilience, influence and prominence. And the 4 mindset issues that you have is, this is mindset na, attitude, habit, action and perception. The based on these आपके results बदल जाते हैं। Somebody with a very positive mindset, positive attitude will have a different kind of result than a person who is having a negative mindset. और ये आप जबरदस्ती तो कर नहीं सकते, पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव होना ऑटोमेटिकली नहीं आता। दिस इज ए क्वेश्चन ऑफ हैबिट्स एंड डिसिप्लिन बिल्डिंग। So that those are the mindset, and then tool set is resourceful influencing, and skill set each time में आप कैसे अपने डिफरेंस, रेजिलियंस, इन्फ्लुएंस एंड प्रोमिनेंस को क्रिएट करोगे, दैट इज हाउ यू ग्रो एज a leader. The learning impacts will be, there will be 4 learning impacts, 6 learning impacts in fact. So this is my course, wherein you know, reach out, and this is available. This is an online course where you will be learning about characteristic of a resourceful mindset, existing opportunities, always keeps braving on ongoing difficulties, strong and weak in equal proportion, is a giver. Giver means gratitude, imagination, visualization, exercise and reading. Follows a proven discipline. किसी मेंटर का ये साथ लेके चलते हैं, कैसे करने से क्या होगा. And these are the 10 things that will be achieved. You will be able to identify your strength from bottom up. Winning विनिंग रेस्पॉन्स आपका होगा, पावर बॉन्डिंग होगा, कलीग्स के साथ चेंज हैंडलिंग हो जाएगा, मैनेजिंग चैलेंजेस हो जाएंगे, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस with adversity quotient you will be acquiring, डीलिंग विथ एम्बिग्विटी हो जाएगा, प्रैक्टिसिंग माइंडफुलनेस हो जाएगा, डेली विन्स आप क्रिएट करना, नो मैटर वेदर इट इज अ फेल्योर और विन, इट विल बी ए विन. And that is how your next level growth happens. Next level growth is always a dicey thing. It is never predicted. It might be the next level promotion, it might be a career change into enterprise. You might become an entrepreneur at the end of it, because all that qualities that is required in a leader is there in an entrepreneur as well, right? So the five gifts will be, bonuses will be how to have internal patterns, how to conquer your internal patterns so that you power up yourself. No, as I told you before, that it is how much you put in your self analysis, how self analysis. So the morning thoughts, that is how it propels your team. Build a big team and chase your version 10 with 9 days goals and 3 ABC plans. When people differ from you, you know that you have got an extra model to work on. And the results will be, start the day with a defined expectation, recognize uniqueness in others. You start small always, because you know in your life, हम हमारे कंट्रोल में है क्या, स्टार्ट करना. एंड स्टार्टिंग स्मॉल, क्योंकि आप बड़े से कैसे स्टार्ट करोगे, स्टार्टिंग ऑलवेज स्मॉल ही होता है. एंड देन इफ यू बिल्ड कंसिस्टेंटली, देन that is what is in your control. आप ये करोगे ना, then opportunities will start showing up, and afterwards these miracles, as I shown you in the Bandhavgarh thing. I started very small, but when we won that award, several awards that we have won, that couldn't have been planned, you know. Those are very breaking the mustard production record, that couldn't have been planned. So we are not working towards that, but those came as surprises, miracles, and recognition for us. And building frameworks, we can build frameworks as to how it becomes simpler for you as you discuss with me. And mindfulness is about how to discipline your mind, because this is the self, this is the journey of the self, you know, how to remain a winner no matter whatever happens. You the child, no, the the child who starts to walk, you know, it doesn't walk in a day. It falls and then it gets up, then it tries to walk. That is the process that we will be following, we each of us follow every day. And then so many times we become negative. How to overcome, how to reprocess those thoughts to become more? And who is there to support us? There is something called higher self. And we rise with gratitude. How that process is, how it becomes, it empowers yourself. You know, you close the gap between your higher self with expectation. You become positively vibrant. That is how you attract the solutions, right? Then continuous upgrade, of course, it is not about only dreaming, it is about building yourself, upgrading yourself. And always the process is very important than the result, because the result will follow automatically. It will come from somewhere. But if you are not following the process, then those results will also not come, because you will be always apprehensive. right? Raise the bar. Each time you win something, you have to raise the bar. And how do you do that? This is the process of that. And this is one testimonial from my colleague at Jharkhand. The results will be raising the bar at each milestone, 1% improvement daily, writing a big vision. These are the exercises we'll be doing in that. Then delegate appropriate mentoring. Mentoring is when you are teaching people to no outgrow you, outgrow their positions and replace you. So second rank nurturing is second and third rank. You have to identify who is a fish and who is a bird. The fish needs to swim to excel, and the bird needs to fly to excel. So teach them and empower them, delegate them to allow them to become more and more, and do that by regular self evaluation, because while empowering others, it takes a lot for you to broaden your vision, broaden your thought process, so that you don't harbor anything negative about anybody and stay happy. This is a very, very difficult phase of a leader, and he has to stay on course. So always doing the right thing. It takes a little thing and nobody can blame him, but this is the thing one needs to follow. Results will be 4 days work week. Let me write it down here. 4 days work week. It happens because you now know how to delegate properly without being bossy. Prioritization of work also, that is the process we'll be learning. 80% time in planning, that is also will be doing how to plan your work, and in the minute detail we will be planning. Let me, there is an excel sheet also I'll be showing if you come to my webinar, right? On Saturday it happens. Is there somebody online? If there, so they can wave here, right? And then the fifth bonus is how to have a creative diversion and passion, right? So here you can learn another skill, or whatever existing skill you have, that you can learn, and uh, that can be monetized, and this will help you in creating a legacy without being dependent on an organization or anything, right? So here we can actually learn a digital skill, strategic support, data management, team management, and writing own journey, helping others with content. So learning impact will be how this learning will contribute to the holistic improvement. So these are the 6 things uh, I have done. Learning impact 2 is who you would become. Attitude defines your personality. This is another training that you will get. Learning impact 3 will be your resume will be very strong. How that will be, and impact 4 will be you will be very strong in your communication by positioning yourself strategically. The fifth learning impact will be 7 aspects of leadership growth, free weekly call. Every week there will be an audit happening, and there are 6 indicator to it. We will have a tracker to do that. Learning impact 6 is developing characteristics of a resourceful mindset, and these are all will be in this training. So was I influencing with resourcefulness? What is resourcefulness? Utilizing existing resources optimally. What resources? How? The process, who you need to become, and why this choice. And the influence path will be uniqueness differentiates you, benevolence brings in or admiration, resilience builds credibility, stand out to get 3x growth. Resourcefulness, as I said, it is how to manage self, how to manage people, and how to manage time. And what challenges? And resourceful influencing is a chain reaction. It wins recognition and growth. It creates resilience. It overcomes struggles and challenges, unravels relevance, propels toward reaching beyond without feeling burnt out. Was So why it is beneficial to have a long-term solution? Which one is yours? Time, proven path, reputation, choices. What is there for you? So there will be tips to stand out with unique abilities, and there will be many more training uh, thing also. So this is all about this thing, and the entire course is valued at 2 lakhs. If I go one to one with you, we will define and design everything that is challenging for you. And let me come live. And but if you want to take the concepts and design it for yourself, of course there will be inner circle call every week, and it will be uh, helpful you can ask questions and you can redesign your thing. And this if with all these resources, whatever resources, the free resources, those are available, with that you can actually um, design your own solution base. So when you come to one, the actually it will be very easier for you. It will be very mm, easier for me also to explain as to what solution you should take. And if you are in a webinar, then we can you can ask me questions, and that will better tell you about what to look for. So if this is so, if you are mm, if if you are looking for that, then we can talk one to one in a webinar. Actually, in a webinar system scenario, it becomes very systematic for us and for you to come and ask questions about each of these things. Whether you understand or not, it becomes apparent. Whether I have explained all your, whether I have resolved all the problems that you have been asking, all those things will be clear once you ask the questions. So this is an outline of whatever offer that I have, and hope to see you tomorrow when it will be a webinar thing. And yes, thank you for being here.